All right, this video is hopefully going to help you with drawing Bohr models of the atom. So let me share my screen. This is the PowerPoint that's available in your resources in the lesson. And again, you'll need a periodic table. I did put a link to a periodic table. You could use one, you could look on the internet, you could use this one here, whatever you want. All right, so your first step is to find the atomic number. This is the same thing we did for Lewis. So here's the example again, carbon, the atomic number is 6. Then you're going to list the element's number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. This gets kind of tricky. So let me walk you through what I'm going to do here. So let's go to Inspire. All right. So if the atomic number is 6, then protons are also 6. And since we've been learning about the fact that atoms are inherently neutral, that means they're neutral unless they're changed. If it's got 6 protons, then it should have 6 electrons. Now to find the neutrons, remember from the notes, you take the rounded atomic mass, and you subtract the number of protons. So let's look again at that. All right, so the rounded atomic mass right here of carbon is listed as 12.01. So if I go back and I remember 12.01, so if I round 12.01 to the nearest whole number, it becomes, 12. And subtract the number of protons. And remember the number of protons is 6. And how much equals 6 neutrons. All right, so I know that I have 6 protons, I have 6 electrons, and I have 6 neutrons. And with that information, I can draw my atom. So I'm going to go back to PowerPoint. Which is not doing good things for me. Let me try it this way. There we go. All right, so we've done all this. Aren't you glad you watched the video? All right, so now we have to list the element's number of energy levels. This is all the information we need to draw. So we haven't drawn yet, we're just gathering information. So if you remember from reading the periodic tables assignment, you learned that the periodic table has groups and it has periods. Groups go up and down, and the periods go across. So if you look at right here, carbon is in the second row, which means it's in the second period. I know it's confusing because you think you're like at school and you're in second period, but we're talking about something with the periodic table. So if I go here, there's carbon, it's in period 2. So that means it's going to have 2 energy levels or 2 orbitals. So I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to kind of write that down, just gathering information so I can draw. So carbon has 2 orbitals or energy levels. Some people call them rings. All right, so with all this information, I am ready to draw. But I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Okay, so step 4, you draw your nucleus and your energy levels with the Bohr model. So I drew one here online, but let me show you what we've got here. So if I go to back to here, And I'm going to, I'll try these with my finger. Let's see how I do with my finger. Okay, so we've got a nucleus. It's a really small nucleus. And then we've got 2 energy shells. So 1, 2. Gotta say, guys, that's not that bad. All right, so if let's make this pretty small. I put a text box right in here. The next step is you're supposed to first you put the chemical symbol. Remember, carbon's chemical symbol is a capital C, so I'm going to put that right in the middle there. Can't really see that. Let me make that bigger. All right. And then I'm going to put a P-6. And I'm also going to put, oh, that's going to be too small. Going to make this smaller. N-6. Gotta fit them in there. All right, so I know it's really, really small, but there it is. And hopefully you figured out my P-6, that's telling everybody that's got 6 protons. My N-6, telling everybody it's got 6 neutrons. And of course the C is telling everyone that this is a model of carbon. Now, if I go back to this, you look at this example, I kind of shaded the nucleus, and I did put, you don't have to shade yours in. The reason I did is so you wouldn't think that it's another energy level, because people get confused. That's the nucleus. So let's go to the next one, and we just did this with the C, the P, and the N. We put all that stuff in there. Now we're ready to draw. We have to remember the octet rule, just like we did for the Lewis diagrams. You have to make sure that the first level has 2. And then every level after that has 8 as a max. So I'm going to place my first few electrons, and the rule is, just like in Lewis, you go above. Well, actually, Lewis is a little different. So we did Lewis, and we only did the outer electrons, the ones in the outermost energy level. So if it only started with 1 energy level, it would have 2. But we're worried about all. We want to do all of the. We want to do all of the electrons. So not just the ones in the outer energy level, we want all of them. So we're going to start, carbon has a total of 6. We're going to do all 6. Okay, so the first 2, this one goes here, first is above, and the second one goes below. So kind of a new rule for you, up, down, up, down. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back to here. And should I try dots again? I'll try circles. All right, so the first one goes up, and the second one goes down. All right. Okay, next step, you're going to place the rest. And now it's very much like the Lewis. If you look here, trying to get this done. Just like you did, it goes up, right, down, left. Okay, so you can see here, I've done my first 2, and then the third one goes up, 4th right, 5th below, 6th left. I'm going to go back to here. And I'm going to do, I've got 4 more. I've got 2 done, so I have to do, there's number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So there is my Bohr model of an atom. So let's do another one. Let's take a look at what we had in the PowerPoint. I think I have you doing sodium as practice. Yeah, sodium. So here is a picture of what sodium looks like in the periodic table. Its periodic number is 11. Its symbol is the capital N lowercase a, and it's 22.99. That's the average atomic mass. So I've got a lot of information here, but we're just going to go ahead and do it semi-live. All right, so let's put all the stuff that I know. Ooh, gotta make that bigger. All right, so Na sodium. Ooh. Atomic number is 11. So what does that mean? 11 protons. And it has 11 electrons. Now to do the neutrons, you need the atomic mass and you need to round it. So if I go back and look at this really, well, we can look right here. Okay, sodium is on the left there. Let me show you. Sodium's right there. And you can see that it's, well, that's a really bad arrow, but that's its atomic mass, 22.99. So we're going to round that, and hopefully that was semi-easy for you, because 22.99 rounded to the nearest whole number is 23. Okay, so for the neutrons, we take that 23, subtract the protons, and we get 12 neutrons. We also have to look at what period sodium is in. So let me go back to the periodic table there. And you can see sodium is in, well, it doesn't have period numbers, does it? Well, if it doesn't have numbers, it's pretty simple. I'll show you how to do it, because that does happen sometimes. Okay, the top period is period 1. The second one is period 2. The third one's period 3. So sodium is in period 3, which means it has what? It has 3 energy levels or 3 orbitals. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to jot that down so I can keep it in my head. Orbitals. So now I'm going to draw. Do it with my finger again. All right, so we need a nucleus and 3 orbitals. 1, 2, 3. Not as good as my last one, but it's still not too bad. It looks like a really wonky target there. All right, so now I'm going to put, remember I have to put the chemical symbol and all that stuff in there. So we'll do this. So the symbol is Na, P is 11, N is 12. And that's all information that I had right over here. I had that and I had that. Okay, so now I'm going to place my electrons. Remember, the first energy level can only hold 2. So I'm going to go to my tool here. I'm going to cheat. Okay, so it goes above and below. So 1, 2. So I've placed 2 and I have, wow, 9 more to put. So I'm going to go up, right, down, left. That gives me what? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have 1 more, right? So where does it go? Well, this one is full. It's got 8, so I have to go to the next one and it goes above. So my total number of electrons is 11. I can see the outermost energy level has 1, and that is a Bohr model of sodium. Well, I hope this helped you. If you get stuck, contact me, reach out, join a Zoom, whatever you need. I hope you guys are doing well. Keep it going and stay safe.